welcome to the William & Mary Winter Holiday Special. Today we'll be interviewing several different William & Mary students about the different holidays that they celebrate around this time. We're going to be talking about Diwali, the Chinese and American New Year, and Christmas. So we hope you learn a lot.
During winter, I celebrate New Year's Eve.
So the holidays and traditions that I celebrate most during the winter season would probably be Chinese New Year, just because I grew up in China, in Beijing, and that's, the most celebrated holiday around that time.
I celebrate Diwali, which is usually at the end of October, but sometimes at November. It's Indian, usually associated with Hinduism.
A winter holiday that I celebrate, that a lot of people celebrate, is Christmas.
In October, we do something called Halo-Halloween. So halo-halo is a dessert in the Philippines. It's like really good. It stands for mix-mix, and it's like an ice cream dessert. And it sounds like the beginning of Halloween. So we just kind of like fuse those two together, and we do that.
During New Year's Eve, we have the ball drop. So we all watch the ball drop from Times Square in like a living room of someone's house. And we have a potluck, so everyone brings food. The host usually has the most, and it's usually like just chicken or turkey.
And in China, there aren't nearly as many regulations on fireworks, so it's not like anyone can get fireworks. So in our own like compounds and stuff, people would be setting them off, and it'd be a lot of fun. They were everywhere, and they'd always like go late into the night.
With like busy schedules, you don't always get time where your whole entire family can eat together. And this was a time where like for these days, we are going to eat together, and we are going to get to share stories and really hang out as a family.
There's a lot of celebrations, and people go to a lot of temples. There's like dragon dances, lion dances, all those.
We go to the Christmas Eve service on the 24th at our church, and they basically do a retelling of the Christmas story, but children from like different varying grades tell the story, so it's really cute to watch like the beginning, because it's when the tiny children try their best to tell the story, and then we like process out singing Silent Night while holding candles, which is my favorite part.
So during Halloween is when we have like revelation for it's like bigs and littles, except we call it Kuya Ates, which is like big brother, big sister in Tagalog, which is like the national language of the Philippines.
So one of the big ones is dumplings. That's a very big Chinese New Year food. Another one is noodles, which people believe will bring you longevity. Fish, people believe will bring you a surplus of wealth. So there's a lot of beliefs like that. There's also this like one dessert. It's called tangyuan. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's kind of like a ball that has usually it has some sort of filling like sesame seed or red bean paste, and then you boil them, and they're kind of like squishy on the outside, but they're really good.
We eat a lot of chole, which is chickpeas. There's a lot of curry. A lot of my family, we mainly center like the holiday around different desserts. So we eat ladu, which are like these just like balls of basically sugar. And then we do gajar halwa, which is kind of like a carrot-based dessert.
The toast after the ball drops, because everyone's high spirits, high hopes for the new year, and everyone's all together.
The most important aspect of Chinese New Year would probably be the family aspect, because a lot of the times that's the only time people see their families if they work in the city and are from the suburbs.
So the history of the holiday is that Diwali is the festival of lights, and a lot of people think that that just means kind of putting up a bunch of lights, which it is in a way. Like my family, we would always line our house with a bunch of different candles, at least like one per room. But But a big part of it is victory over evil, so light over dark. And so it's all about kind of the victory of goodness.
There's also the giving of the red pouches, the hongbao, where, there's money in it, but it's also because red is like the Chinese color for like good fortune and all that. So you exchange red pouches.
Well, for Christians at least, the most important aspect of Christmas is Christ. And so the birth of Jesus, who we believe to be the Son of God.
That everyone knows what Baby New Year is, because I have no idea what a Baby New Year is.
Typically, pagans celebrated various holidays during the winter season, such as Samhain, which is what we know as Halloween, and other different ceremonies. And so despite the fact that Jesus was probably born somewhere around fall based on biblical knowledge, we move his birthday to December 25th in order to bring a Christian holiday into that time period. And it was to discourage pagan activity during the time.
People don't really realize how tied the Philippines is to American culture, because the Philippines was colonized by America for a stint in the early 20th century, but people don't really realize that. Like, the history is like really intertwined. So when people think of the Philippines, they're like, ooh, islands, ooh, Pacific Islander, ooh, like very ooh. But in reality, it's one of the most Americanized places, I believe, in Asia.
As a kid, we were more likely to play outside before the ball dropped, and so you play tag or any other sport. But now it's just waiting for the ball drop and sitting and talking with people and having a wonderful time.
As a kid, my mom used to put up candles, and then after dessert, we would kind of read all of the Indian stories. We had this big kind of book with a bunch of pictures, which for as a kid, it was really cool to see all of this history and all this kind of spiritual aspect played out. But then as an adult, it kind of just became more about us all getting together and us eating food and just kind of joining together and bonding.
Halloween, I never really dressed up. Like, I was like a generic Hogwarts person for like 8 years, but now I dress up because that's just part of like the fun of Revelation for Kuya Ate stuff during Halloween.